Hello everyone, today I'm going to be building a huge house in Minecraft while explaining some of my personal Minecraft YouTuber AUs slash headcanons slash other things, because I made a door and hold on. Let's get an axe. Let's get rid of this guy. There we go. And yeah, it's not day, but I don't really care. So I think I just gotta line it up well. So my first one is going to kind of be, well, I guess I'll just explain the build. I don't know. Today I'm going to be building. And that's entirely off-centered. 1 second. Oops. Well, let's just explain what I'm building and what it looks like this. So I'm building a giant square-based mansion with this roof. And the only thing that looks good so far is this door. That was not inspired at all by someone else's door. Hermitcraft. Not at all. So I'm just gonna kind of have a nice little calming, relaxing build session, and just kind of do that. You know, as the zombies want to enter for no reason. Go away. Go away. Go away. What is in here that you want? Well, that's why you build your doors first, kids, because if you build your doors first, then the zombies won't be a pain entering your build because they want to for no reason. Oh. Why are the tower? Okay. Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to start explaining what I wanted to. How tall is this? We're just gonna make a dark oak beam across the top, and there we go. That's about the distance, right? So I guess the first one that I'm gonna have to do is, well, I have a lot of headcanons for things, but I think the first one that I'm going to do is to explain. I've watched both Hermitcraft and parts of the Dream Escape. So this is going to be heavily incorporated by the fact that you, as the watcher, have to know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I said watcher for a specific reason. This has to do with watchers and listeners. So, you know, when you're just on YouTube and there's like 15 videos that are like watcher AU, I've seen some that make sense and some that don't make sense, or listener. Well, does that go up there? I'm gonna go with no. And with that, hold on, can I just get that? No, I don't want oak though, I want spruce. And with that comes along a bunch of weird seeming AUs that don't make sense. But I have one personally that I think does make sense. And yes, this does have to do, stop it, this does have to do with the Dream SMP. Don't know what that was. That was kind of weird, not gonna lie. So, what this is it's mostly about character, oh, hi, dead zombie. The characters, that's way too tall. Dree and Technoblade. So, personally, my AU has this little thing where, well, let's just talk about some of the similarities. We don't know much about the Watchers, as, I mean, you know. The Watchers seem like people or players, not players. They seem like entities who just want to kind of ruin and mess with the members of, well, it was Evo, it was Minecraft Evo, but now kind of Hermitcraft. And with that, we don't know much about them, other than, like, their color is purple, and green was one before he wasn't one. He left, and they did not like that at all. So, now, with that concept, it's time to think about who else kind of has that little concept type thing of likes messing with. Now, I think we can all agree that the Watchers were pretty much the villains. They're not really out for helping people very much. They just like messing with them. So, with that, who else likes messing with players often? The character for Dream. I guess real life Dream also kind of does, but like manhunts. Oh, and if you haven't figured out already, this is gonna feel very 2021. And that kind of seems like a Watcher, and that might sound very far-fetched, but hear me out here for a second, alright? The Watchers are most easily dictated by their signature eyes. The floating eyes that you see commonly in, like, green animations and stuff. You don't really see a full, like person or anything. You just kind of see the eyes. And, hi, sir. With those, oh, that's not even close to centered. With those eyes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Commonly, this is like how it's viewed. Now, oh, this should not have these up here. Now, what about the character for Dream? If you've seen any Tommy Angst animation, 3, way too many, you should probably know that Dream is commonly, or Rambo, it kind of fits Rambo a little bit more than Tommy, but Tommy is what I'm using as the example. For, like, he's commonly dictated as just a smile. Not really, is this the same? It is, okay. Commonly seen as, like, a smile, or just, like, a smiling face, which is surprisingly similar to that concept of that of a Watcher. Just eyes, not really an entire, oh, come on, not really an entire, like, made person, but just eyes watching, waiting. That's kind of what the concept is. Now, with that, makes it so that it kind of seems still off-centered by 1. It makes it feel kind of similar to the way that Dream is shown, which is quite intriguing, to be honest. The fact that they're both shown as just a kind of an unformulated face. This is commonly seen, and I think this kind of concept, well, it's seen in most animators. I'm using animation as an example because it's just a very good example of seeing how different people dictate it, but it's a very commonly used sign of just having 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as someone having that same kind of function of just kind of watching, waiting for something to happen, which is quite intriguing that those two seem to have the same concept. Now, it could be a coincidence, granted, but I think the next one is even more interesting. So, next up is Technoblade. The late Technoblade, who R.I.P. I was a huge fan of. I will respect that in, like, this whole talk. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But he The character, at least. What did he claim chat was? Who was chat? Chat were supposed to be like the voices in his head, which is very odd if we're being honest. Like most people have it like it's a cute little robot thing or Enderman particles or something like that, not usually voices. I've even heard someone say it's like a bee type thing. Like something fun, like kind of cute and that kind of thing. You don't normally see like something as crazy as like the voices in my head, right? Now, this isn't a watcher. This is kind of thinking that of the sense of a listener. Think about this for a second. We know less about the listeners than we know about the watchers, but just going off of their name alone, what does that probably mean? They listen. Now, we don't know if they're conscious of their listening, or if they just feel like that's the way life works, you just hear voices, but Technoblade often would use his chat and say that they were voices in his head, which is quite odd, considering the fact that listeners might have a similar concept. Now, obviously, we don't know much about them, because